Welcome everyone to this especially long episode of Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker, and joining me once again is, of course, Kirby.
I'm here for the whole dungeon.
And I hope you'll be here for the rest of the Let's Play.
Oh yeah. I'm here for exactly an hour.
As is everybody else who's watching. Unless they stop the video and then take a break and then come back and keep watching it that way.
Or, just watch it at 2x speed. Do you do that? Do you watch anything at 2x speed?
I do not.
I have fallen into this trap where I started using like 1.5x speed and then 2x speed, and I just used it occasionally, but now I use it almost all the time. And I don't know if it's a problem with me, but I feel like I watch almost everything these days at 2x speed. It's weird.
Interesting.
I don't know if this is like an ADHD type of thing, where it's like, oh, if the people are talking faster and more things are happening, then I'm more able to pay attention to it.
I normally just let things run in the background because I'm focusing on something else. It's just for noise most of the time.
Oh, okay. I see. Hey! You're changing the wind.
Indeed I am.
What happened last time? Where did you end up? Because remember last time we ended with you falling in the water.
I did end up in the top, but apparently when you save the game and quit that way, it sends you back to the beginning of the island.
Oh, yeah, it does.
I did not know that.
Oh, and you're not going to make it.
Nope.
So we're not going to make it.
He's not going to make it. He's going to make it. Oh, well, shit, I guess you were right. Hearts? I need magic.
Link's a pothead. No, I like the outer design of the dungeon. I like the thorns and everything that's coming out of it. It's a really cool kind of backdrop to like the nice safe forest that you're in.
Yeah, it's really a contrast. Oh, look at this funneled tree here. This one is bright and colorful and full of life. Just ignore the monstrous plants on the outside. Meanwhile, you have the Forsaken Woods here. It's like Forbidden Woods or whatever. It's like, you know what? We're just going to kill you.
I thought you were going to do the same thing again. I was like, dude, come on. I know the game doesn't explicitly tell you. Well, it might tell you. It might tell you that you need to go here.
I'm pretty sure the Koroks would have told me.
The Koroks are probably thinking, man, this hero is so lame. If we ever encounter him again, we're gonna be hiding from him.
Yeah, I don't think we need to trust. I don't think we should trust this hero. Doesn't seem up to the task.
Oh no, was that the only wind?
Yeah, because we can't get high enough.
Well, wake me up when it gets in place. Oh,
wake me up.
Oh, the magic system for the magic leaf is really weird.
I don't like how fast the magic drains with this leaf. I also missed it. Yep.
No.
Just cut your losses. Accept your fate.
Okay, well, at least you spawn back on the platform and the grass is back.
I half expected to be at the beginning again.
I know, but imagine if the grass wasn't back, then you wouldn't have been able to get in the magic pots.
Yeah, that would have really sucked.
Okay, here we go. I can't believe how much trouble we're having. We're not even in the dungeon yet.
Oddly enough, the most challenge I have had recording this was getting into the dungeon.
Oh, I forgot they put all these little pea hats here in front of the dungeon just to screw with you.
Yeah, screw you too, Nintendo. Sheesh. Winged girls are said to treasure these. Ooh la la.
He has her such a jerk move.
I really do have the rich man's curse going on in this playthrough right now.
Oh, I didn't even notice you're filled up.
All this money and nothing to spend it on.
Get some more chew jelly. Oh, you think I think the leaf would do something against them.
Yeah, it would stun them at least, but I thought I could hit them regardless, but no, they had to be up. I really love this system. It's so good in the Wind Waker.
It kind of trivializes fights a little.
Plus, it's just so cool to look at.
I mean, yeah, it definitely is.
Especially when you do it against, like, the Iron Knuckles or, like, the Dark Nuts or whatever they're called in this game.
Oh, and this is the most weirdest part of the thing. You gotta grab this big nut and then throw it against a flower for some reason.
You bastard. Fight me like a sludge.
These chews are almost just like time wasters. Like, they don't do a lot of damage, but they're just annoying to fight.
Yeah, and getting the materials too is just more like an annoyance than like, okay.
I would say that's probably makes them the worst enemy. Getting any enemy that wastes your time is probably one of the worst ones.
Also, when you stop and think about it, they should be far more powerful than that, because a sword should not be able to damage a chew, because they're slime. They have nothing to cut. Really.
Well, yeah, that is true, but at this point, you don't really have any other way to attack them. So
also, when
the game's just like, well, go ahead.
Also, when you think about it more, a slime is actually one of the most dangerous fantasy creatures you could possibly imagine when you think about it. They can do so much crap.
If you're talking about like the kind that doesn't have like anything that's literally just jelly and nothing else, yeah, those are kind of creepy.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter how powerful you are and whatnot. All a slime has to do is just crawl into like your mouth, and then it can just close up your respiratory system. That's it. You're dead.
Yeah, you can't cut them. You can't smash them. You can't do much to them.
And the only way out is to just claw your body until it just decides to come out. Or God forbid if it decided to crawl into your ear and like either eat your brain or just make your head explode.
Kind of like I kind of imagine those as like the chews from Twilight Princess, because they literally are just giant like slugs, like giant jelly slugs. Oh, hello. Oh, it's always good to have to be able to use your new item against enemies that you fought previously.
There is one thing about the Legend of Zelda series I do like, and it's the fact that every item you get actually does have a purpose.
Oh, not
at least
not
so,
that.
At least
it has multiple purposes.
Indeed, like except for the telescope. I think the telescope is actually the most worthless item. Sorry, I stand corrected. I have no need for it.
How could you say that? It was the one present that your sister got you, and you're just gonna say it's useless?
It was just a re-gift. She re-gifted me a gift she probably got on that I probably gave her for Christmas.
She's 5. She can't get any gifts on her own.
Whoop-de-doo! In today's economy, cut the grass, get some rupees, buy me something better.
Stacked.
In fact, buy me something.
Oh, I thought that would have worked for a second.
Oh, it will. It's just...
It does?
Watch. Watch my gifted knowledge. This is true wisdom. Like I said, I've been playing Echoes of Wisdom, and it's been making me think outside the box a lot. So I figured, why not? Let's just throw a stick at it, see if it works.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm trying to wonder how you're supposed to get that.
You probably have to get the boomerang or something.
Oh, you probably do have to come back with the boomerang. You're right.
Sorry about that pop noise. That was just my thumb. It would need to be cracked. It's just so damn cold right now.
I didn't even hear anything.
Good.
We're finally starting to get some nice weather down here in good old Georgia. Where it's been 80 almost for the past week.
It's actually been quite comfortable. Like, at first it starts really cold in the morning, but as the afternoon sets in, it gets just right. We've been having a lot of those times, but now it's just cold, chilly, and rainy. And if it's going to be this cold, at least snow. Wouldn't be the first time it snowed in October.
Oh, I don't even want to think about that. We don't know how to handle snow down here.
I seriously doubt that.
No, we really don't. We don't have the resources.
No. I seriously doubt that you do have plans.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, but then the weather goes and it's like, you have to wear like a jacket in the morning and long sleeves, and then the afternoon comes and
Then you tie it around your waist and you have a fashion sense.
Okay. Then you have to keep track of it. It's just
tie it around your waist. You don't have to keep track of it. If you don't feel something hugging around your waist and it's not your belt, something's up. Where'd your coat go?
Yeah, another use for the leaf.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like this temple was designed around 2 specific items. Well, 3 actually. I thought I could go a little further, but nah.
Who created this gondola in the evil forest?
Well, seeing the doors have the Deku symbol on it, I would assume this was once a Deku sanctuary, but has become corrupted.
Probably makes sense. I always wonder about that stuff. Like, whenever you're in these types of temples or whatever, it's like you see all this, all these things that people built.
Hang on, I have a question. If he's called the Great Deku Tree, why does he protect the Koroks?
Because the Koroks used to be the Deku people.
But I thought they were the Kokiri.
Kokiri, that's what I meant.
But why does he protect a whole other race when the Deku should be something he should be guarding over? Isn't he one of them?
Well, he was protecting them in Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, so now he has to keep protecting them forever.
I think the Deku Tree is just a dick.
Maybe he doesn't protect them. Maybe like they're the ones worshiping him.
Or maybe this is like a Parthenax situation where the Great Deku Tree is a turncoat, but it's for the better and he's a good guy now. Because the majority of Dekus do worship Ganon, he's a god. And they do attack Link on sight in a lot of Zelda games, so they are allied with him.
Hey, not in Wisdom, not in Echoes of Wisdom.
Oh no!
In that game, they're making smoothies.
Speaking of which, and cotton candy before you solve the problem. But I just got done with that area actually, and I liked it.
What area?
The Deku area.
Oh, okay.
I always liked the Deku in the Zelda-verse.
Oh my god, what are you going to do?
I don't know. This puzzle is too hard for my tiny walnut brain. That's the walnut, by the way.
Why? Why do you need the nut?
So I can break the flower, because if it closes, it's invulnerable.
But why do you need to break a flower with the nut?
Because I don't have any projectiles that can destroy it.
I wonder if you came back here with like the bow and arrow. I wonder, and like you left one of those flowers here. I wonder if the bow and arrow would work. I bet somebody who plays the randomizer would know.
Oh yeah, randomizer for sure.
This is a very popular game to do randomizers with.
Really?
Oh yeah. Because there's just there's tons of way, because all the dungeons just use the items that you have. So no matter what order you get the items, you can just do the dungeons with the items. It doesn't matter what else or what part of the story you're in.
So if this is the best, what's the worst?
Oh, I have no idea. It's probably... Oh god, I don't know. Skyward Sword, maybe?
Oh, what a shock!
Because that game is just not set up for letting you go where you need to. Because there's so many like different flags and so many different types of situations that have to be changed due to other things being done.
Yeah, it's like Resident Evil speedrun. If you get a bad seed, you actually lock yourself out of completing the game.
Is that for the first Resident Evil?
That's for base like the first 3, and I think
3.
Yeah, like 1 through 3. Like a lot of people like to do randomizers for those too, and those are actually fun. Especially when they add a character randomization too. So like they'll enter the game, and let's say for example they appear as Hunk or something like that, and then they go through another door. Their character will randomly generate, and they'll be like Steve or something like that.
I saw a Resident Evil 4 randomizer, and this is randomizer for the Resident Evil 4 remake. It was at the very least it was all the enemies were randomized. So early on there was like a path up to a cart you gotta blow up, and there were a bunch of Krausers on the path. So it was yeah, I'm sure that'll probably get even crazier in the future.
Sorry, I'm in the midst of a cat attack.
A catastrophe.
Yeah, a catastrophe.
What's your cat doing?
Trying to get into the room, and another cat who is already in the room is basically trying to punch him in the face like he's Little Mac with 3 stars.
Can't these cats read? You have a recording sign outside of your room saying recording.
I know, right? I mean, rude. How could these animals not know how to read?
I think they do know how to read, and they just are not. They're not respecting it.
Cats being assholes? Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if they could read; they still come in regardless.
I actually believe we're very close to getting 20 joy pendants. Yes, we are actually.
Yeah, that is for a quest back at the island.
And if I think about it, Link is going to invade my cabana soon.
That's not too well. That's a little ways off. But he'll get there eventually.
He better stay out. Could you imagine, like, yes, you're super slow and all that, but when enemies try to attack you physically, they take damage because of the spikes?
That'd be cool.
It's like, yeah, you're super slow, but you got, like Kirk the Thorn armor.
Don't these guys eventually start hurting you?
Nope.
I thought I could have sworn they did.
Nope, they just weigh you down. That's it. They deal no damage.
That's really weird. Because they're literally covered in spikes. You think that hurt?
You would think that. Unless the spikes.
Maybe it's that
spikes.
uncomfortably warm. It's that uncomfortably warm clothes you have on.
Oh, I know what it is. It's because of the fact that Link's tunic is a cotton. The moment they latch on, it gets all bunched up in like the tangled, severed mini weaves that they're making, and they just stick to it.
Worst.
Yeah, that sucks.
You have to take it out, and it gets all the threads everywhere.
Yep, and then you get all the stray strands that makes it look like unkept hair.
Okay, I take it back. Those little thorn guys. They're probably the worst in the game.
They are the equivalent of burdocks. If you know what that is.
No.
They're these small little like bulb with like spikes that grow in the cold weather that like get on fur, clothes, and everything. And even when you try to take it off, it always rips and leaves some of its like little like branch like appendages aside, and you can never fully get rid of it. It is super annoying.
Dude, I thought you were talking about like from a game.
No, I'm talking about the real thing. I think that's what those creatures are based on.
Oh, because we have those here too. I didn't really know what they were called. I just know them as like the spiky balls that are on the ground.
As far as I know, I've always called them burdocks. So.
It's a regional dialect. Probably. Kind of like how some people call them fireflies and some people call them lightning bugs.
I know further south I thought they would be called like lightning bugs. I always called them fireflies.
Yeah.
I like them. They're cool.
Link, why didn't you jump?
I know, right? And I really also need to get out of the habit of rolling before the ledge when I try to jump, because that's getting me killed more than anything.
Yeah, that's a bit annoying.
But you're supposed to do that. But you're supposed to do that to get further distances.
Oh, it's like negligible.
Okay, the Deku Baba's returning from the other ones, yes, but when it comes to the bulbs that you need to jump out of, I don't think those should come back. Treasure.
Yeah. Oh, that's what you came back here for. Oh, great! More money you can have.
Mm-hmm. But hey, sometimes there's materials in treasure chests, so it's sometimes worth it.
I mean, at the very least, in Twilight Princess, they kind of fixed the problem.
Not gonna lie, I really loved exploring the Hyrule in Twilight Princess. I found it really fun for some reason.
No, yeah. I think Twilight Princess was probably considered one of the best Hyrule maps in the game.
It's also one of the best looking Zelda too.
It is good, yeah.
And honestly, I wished we got more. I'm only going to say this because I want it like visually, not like exactly, but like a Dark Souls-esque type, like Legend of Zelda. Let's go back to like how the way it used to be like dark. Like the land is like, say something like equivalent to Elden Ring, but you go to the Dark World and it's like something like Bloodborne.
Okay, I can see that. I think it's due. I think we're due for a more realistic Zelda like that.
I think we're also due with Link stabbing Cthulhu in the damn eye. He's been stabbing Goma way too many times in the eye socket. That's her only good eye.
Hey, he's fought Cthulhu before. Don't you remember in Skyward Sword? There was that water monster on the boat.
Cthulhu's tampon?
Yeah.
That doesn't count.
Yeah, I know. I know it. Yeah, I mean we've had Breath of the Wild, we had Tears of the Kingdom, so we got those games out of the way, and then we've had lots. Then we had remakes. We had the remakes of Link's Awakening in a very cutesy art style, and now we have Echoes of Wisdom in a cutesy art style.
We have the we have the Rankin Bass series going on.
Yes. So I think we're due for a more realistic and darker Zelda game.
Mm-hmm. Even if it just looks like another like Twilight Princess like style, that's perfectly fine. Just make the story good. I want really creative dungeons. I also I want this to feel like I just want this to feel like Halloween. No matter how many times I pick it up.
Feel like what?
Halloween. I want it to be spooky, scary, dark. Bare minimum hope. Drown them in despair. So that way,
Switch 2, that will happen.
Do that so that way by the end of the game, when everything goes back to the light, it's just that much more, feels just that more better.
Yeah, I mean, you know, maybe with the Switch 2 coming up, we can actually get some better graphics and make a big leap.
We shall see. And this is before Matt realized that Link will actually look at interesting stuff that you should probably be looking at yourself.
Oh, you didn't know that?
Well, I did. I just remembered it now.
Yeah, it's not something really easy that you would keep in mind.
I'm pretty sure it would be in the booklet if my case had the dang booklet.
Oh shoot, it's Mothra!
Mothra! Rocket propelled Mothra. Why do you look like the final Mega Evolution of a Moth Pokemon?
Been on that.
There we go.
Ooh. That's the equivalent of Link just jumping right face first into its mouth.
I'm pretty sure this Link is not the first time. One-winged moth. Frame rate!
I know! The power of the GameCube cannot comprehend this fight.
But there we go.
Gee, there sure were a lot of things hanging around on strings. I wonder what we're gonna get.
A hook shot! Damn it, we're trapped!
Alright, you got a boomerang. Unfortunately, it's it's just a regular boomerang and it's not sharp enough to cut rope.
This one's made in America. It's from the dollar store.
If it was from a dollar store, you throw it and it never come back.
That's the joke!
Have you ever had a boomerang in real life?
Yes! Dollar store
Why are you saying that like it's obvious?
Because dollar store boomerangs were a dime a dozen things kids had as toys way up here. Are you kidding me?
I remember ever having a cheap boomerang. I had like one boomerang and it still didn't work.
Was it like a wooden boomerang or any kind of authentic boomerang, or again a dollar store one?
You know, it probably was a dollar store one. Now I think about it.
There you go.
As a kid, you don't consider that.
Only now do I realize. Oh, I can shoot up there like I'm Batman.
This game really makes you feel like Spider-Man. Great. Oh, there we go.
Speaking about other Zelda titles, I need to get back to the Game Boy era because I actually beat Oracle of Seasons, which I never got to do, and that was actually fun. So I gotta go back to the Oracle of Ages.
Yeah, there were a lot. Wait, weren't those games made by Capcom?
As a matter of fact, yes, they were.
Yeah, I always found that really weird. How, like, Capcom was the one who made those games.
And they're a lot of fun. Oracle of Seasons was extremely fun. I remembered having fun as a kid, and after playing it, yeah, definitely. Still a good Zelda title.
For Game Boy games, they were surprisingly in-depth.
Especially one maze that you had to use the Rod of Seasons for. Like, you had to go down the routes exactly. But if you went during a specific season, you would reset. So every time you got the path, you had to remember which season you had to change it to before you proceeded.
I seem to recall that. Yeah, I'm thinking that kind of
That is the one thing in that game that is entirely superly annoying. And I never really played Oracle of Ages. I only played a little bit from what I can remember. So it will be fun going back to that and see how that goes.
Lovely. Oh, I'll find out. Dude, I would not want to swim in this water.
It does not
This
look
water,
good.
this water looks rancid.
Well, I wouldn't want to swim in it either. I refuse to go anywhere near grape Kool-Aid.
Link is just being exposed to all these awful conditions.
I know, right?
I mean, even when he was fighting that moth, did you see all the stuff, all the particles that were coming off of it?
I wouldn't be surprised if he caught parasites by going in that water. By the end of the whole journey, Zelda's gonna be like, "Oh, Link, thank you for saving all of us," and then his head explodes like he's a lost plaga.
Hey, this is that room in the Banjo-Kazooie mod that I had to run through.
You had to do what you had to do to wake Link up. Heard. Yeah, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. When it comes to sounds, I actually like the magic and refill sound.
The sound effects of this are really good. I was gonna comment on this earlier, but like when those little bulbs when they appear, I like the little cartoon bloop. Oh, I don't know why. It's just really funny. It just just continues with the whole
I
cartoony vibe.
think one of the reasons why you like it so much is because you also really like the Banjo-Kazooie franchise, and this is as Banjo-Kazooie as we're gonna get anymore.
I gotta agree. Yeah.
Seriously, all that's missing is Ganon to be like, "Yes, with these long-eared women, we will finally have our power. Isn't that right, Gruntilda?" Yeah, and the hat from the Minish Cap. That's totally Kazooie. Speaking of which, that's on the Nintendo Online that I can play. I've never played it.
You never played what?
Minish Cap.
Okay. That Minish Cap was actually a game that I borrowed from my friend. I remember that specifically. I remember I borrowed that game and I really liked it.
Because I think if I recall correctly, it was on the SD or something like that. Nintendo DS SD or whatever. Or like the Game Boy SD or something, shit like that. It was like one of those folding ones before the DS came out.
Yeah. I know that because there's the Game Boy Advance and there's the Game Boy Advance SP.
Thank you.
That was the folding one. That was the one that's folded and also had a backlight.
Yes, that's the one I'm talking about. Yeah, I skipped out on that one.
But hold on, any game that the Game Boy Advance could play, the Game Boy Advance SP could also play, right?
I'm not too sure.
I didn't think there was a difference. I thought the only thing about the Game Boy Advance SP was that it could fold and it had a backlight. But but besides that,
I honestly do not know. All I know is that I missed out on it. But do you know what I did have instead? I had the Sega Gear.
oh no!
That battery killer.
How many batteries did that thing take?
Like 4 AA's.
Oh my god! And they ran out like super fast.
Like I got like maybe 4 hours of gameplay.
Mm.
Maybe 4, actually 3 now that I think about it. And yes, I also had the Sonic game, so I played that to death.
Okay, well, at least it had something.
I also had I think there was like a Ren and Stimpy game for it. Like a couple actually.
I've heard that the Ren and Stimpy game was like one of like the worst games ever.
I had one for the Sega, like the 32-bit era or whatever. And me and my brother would play that a lot. Because the only reason we really got the Sega was because of the fact that it had a lot of multiplayer games, surprisingly. Even Sonic was multiplayer in the racing department that it added.
Yeah, but it wasn't that great.
We still had fun. Well, actually, I kind of take that back. My brother didn't really like the fact that he got to play as Tails, and every time... This is before the term Mario Karted was invented, because he had this moment that every time he went to win the race, I would hit the block, and we would get the switch power up. So I would take his position, he'd take mine, and I would win the race instead.
Oh yeah, because the way that those races are set up is that you could like switch sections of the track and make people go on like the long route.
That, and like I said, you hit the item and you just got automatically switch places with with the opponent, so there is that.
No. I think overall, I think this dungeon is pretty good.
Yes, like
I like.
As I was saying outside of the recording, like I think this one might be my favorite of the Forest Temple variants.
It's simple, but it has enough complexity and like side rooms that it kind of it doesn't leave you bored, and it actually has a really good way of funneling you through the dungeon.
I kind of want to make like a separate chart now of like our thoughts on like each of the temples in all the Zelda games, and then we just decide from there like which ones are like comparatively better.
Have you seen Mark Brown?
I have not.
Oh, wait, is it Mark Brown for the Game Maker Toolkit?
No, I have not.
He's done he has a video series. He had one. It's done now. It was called Boss Keys.
Yeah. And
where he looked at every single dungeon design in every single Zelda game.
Nice.
From what I remember, he said that the one in Wind Waker is pretty simplistic. I think he was like, because it's basically go through the dungeon, you go through the dungeon, you get the item, and you go through the other part of the dungeon, and you beat the boss. And that's basically how a lot of these go.
Can I say that type of feeling is a lot strong in a lot of GameCube titles, that they feel simple but fun? And I think Sunshine 2 falls under this category as well. But the problem with Sunshine is everything else. The controls and the hitbox detection when it comes to the pachinko in general is a nightmare. Like if you tweaked those, I think Sunshine would have actually been a better game.
You can't judge Sunshine based off of like one or two signs.
Yes, I can.
No, it's listen. I understand that it's annoying, but honestly, it's not that bad once you understand like the slight movements you have to do. Oh no!
Well, you got Sunshine, I have Luigi's Mansion. Let's leave it at that.
Hey, I like Luigi's Mansion as well. I
do.
think that's a great game.
Hell yeah, it is. Speaking of which...
In fact, I've wanted to... In fact, there was a mod for Luigi's Mansion that people were supposed to be making, but who knows what the status of that is.
Oh, because...
It was like called Luigi's Final Haunt or something, and I don't know what the status of it is. It looked really cool. Who knows what they're doing with it now.
Because I was about to say, if there was a mod for it, I was going to demand that you do a Let's Play for it.
Oh, trust me, I would love to do a mod of Luigi's Mansion because that just sounds amazing. But shit. I tried following it. I tried keeping up with it. It is just, I don't know. I'll have to look up and see what they're doing.
Shit, I'm actually thinking about doing a Let's Play of the Luigi's Mansion trilogy just because I can.
Oh, I would love to see Dark Moon again because I only played through that game once.
I am currently on, I think, the second to last stage. I did take a break from it. As much much to my dismay when it comes to Luigi's Mansion 2.
Okay, well, I mean, it is on the it's on the Switch.
I know. I own. Fortunately, I own a hard copy. I got a physical. Okay. Because I'm a type of person that, yes, I will do digital if I have no choice, but I would much rather have a copy in my hand.
That's the whole reason why I got the PS5 with the disc.
Mm-hmm. Fuck you, PS5 Pro.
It's already saved me money. It's already saved me money with getting discounts on physical games.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I was able to send you Final Fantasy 16 for free.
This is true. Also, can I say that I actually really love the boss key design in this game? It's probably one of the most better designs in the Zelda series.
Are you telling me that you don't appreciate the giant puzzle boss key from Skyward Sword?
Keep talking. Keep telling that game to me. See what happens.
How could you not appreciate walking up to a boss door and fiddling for minutes with the key trying to get it to fit inside a lock?
I can't
How could that not be fun?
I'm sorry, I can't find my reasoning. Let me douse for it.
I mean, it's Nintendo. They know it's fun.
Do they?
No, they don't. It's like, oh man, I'm finally at the boss. I'm finally at the boss now. Finally. Oh, hold on. Let me fiddle with this key. So I had to fiddle with keys enough in real life. I don't want to do that in a video game.
That is pretty much the equivalent of going through all your keys in the key ring, but in this case, you're just moving around the puzzle box, hoping you don't summon Pinhead. Just hitting something with the boomerang is oddly satisfying.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what Zelda game, I think that it's always been the case that the boomerang has been really strong at just stunning enemies. Like they have kept that going since the very first Zelda game.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, we got the boss key.
Yep.
We know where the boss is, so what are you gonna do?
We can clear it. We can go and beat the boss.
But how are you gonna beat the boss?
Or I believe I think I do some last minute stuff here real quick.
Oh, as in I get the rest of get the rest of the chest?
I think so, yeah. Because even if it's a potion, I Polly will hear it in the no, I won't hear it in the comment section. I won't hear of how you missed a potion in a treasure chest.
We can think of theoretical people too who would say that. It's okay. It's okay. I'll go in the comments and say that.
That will make me feel better.
Actually, you didn't get that treasure chest at 47 minutes and 36 seconds.
Yeah. Well, shit. Guess I gotta go back to House of Ashes now.
I hope you last a little bit longer in that game. This game seems interesting. The House of Ashes one.
I know you said ashes, but the way you made it sound, it said asses. Or did you deliberately go asses at this time?
We'll just say yes. We'll just say yes.
That's okay. People say I have an accent too, even though I don't think I do.
It's just one of those things. I remember even back when I was in elementary school. Can you believe this? Even back in elementary school, I remember I was talking with my friends at lunch, and I was talking about like Ash Ketchum, you know, from the Pokemon.
Yeah.
I said something like, "Oh, the thing with Ash is blah 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 blah," and a teacher walked by and is like, "Did you just say ASS, young man?" And I'm like, "No. I was talking about the character from Pokemon."
Pokemon.
Like, oh. Yeah, and they're like, "Oh." So even back then, I couldn't distinguish between ASS and ASH.
That's alright. Apparently in my family it's hard to say specific. Apparently I'm one of the very few who can.
You mean the word specific? Oh, you got me doing that. It's rubbing off on me.
My curse!
That is a very specific curse.
It doesn't do anything. You just can't say specific. Whee!
Hey, it's a full moon out tonight. That's pretty cool. Oh no!
Yep.
Oh, so close.
Yeah, I lost control of the camera there for a while, and I'm like, what the hell?
You just had a look in the moon.
Not the dark side of the moon. That needs to stay mysterious. Plus, that was a bad Transformers movie.
Is there any good Transformers movie?
The animated one.
Oh, well, yeah, of course.
And the more recent one was at least entertaining. It wasn't terrible.
Was that the one with, like, the dinosaur robots?
No, there was one after that.
I can't keep them straight.
Basically, I make the joke, but basically the human in there becomes Mega Man. That's not even a joke.
I don't even know what that would mean. Does he become like half robot?
He basically looks like Mega Man, and he gets like a energy cannon. He just looks like he's Mega Man. He's Mega Man. They just made a Mega Man Transformers crossover.
Can't believe it. Oh,
and the funny part is that's not the like I said this before. This is not the weirdest crossover they've had. Oh yeah, look at this bullshit.
Oh, what the hell is this? Oh,
Invisible invisible walls. In the words of Dante, what the hell is this?
I'm surprised. Oh wait, hold on. Oh, you're back.
Yep.
Huh. I'm surprised they didn't make it easier to get over here. All right, here we go.
Gosh, but first,
we're going. Yep. Get the empty bottle. Get some more magic.
Yep. Oh, and in case you're wondering, yes, I am fully aware that there's a bunch of stuff we could be doing right now as well on the side, but I figured we'd be doing that after the game decides we can free roam. Because I'm fully aware of the big glowy thing that we can go back to the other island for to get the colored camera. But we'll do that later.
Yep.
Because certain things can only be done as the story progresses, and once you're allowed free roam, that's pretty much, like, close to endgame there.
I definitely forgot that it was the whole thing to get the stupid color camera. Oh, but you need fireflies in order to get color cameras.
That, or you can go through New Game Plus. So yes, this game kind of did a Dark Souls thing, where you can unlock new stuff by playing through the game again. You can also get an alternate costume.
Well, the alternate costume is kind of forced on you, right?
Yeah.
I don't think you have a choice.
It's invisible clothes. But unlike the Emperor, you don't decide to take off your old clothes. You're smart.
Maybe that's why it's so warm. Link never took off his pajamas.
He's still wearing his clothes from the beginning underneath.
Maybe that's why.
You know,
that makes sense.
This Link, I believe it. He's that dense. And thankfully so, because with all of the hits he's taking, otherwise, lesser men would be dead.
Plus all those giant plunges into the water.
Think about it this way. Link's like, what, supposedly a 10-year-old or so in this game?
Yeah, I think so.
And
wait, what is he say? Like 10th birthday, right?
Yeah. And he's taking blows that would normally kill much bigger people. This Link is a fucking tank.
Like I said before, this is just how kids are. They're resilient. They're fine.
As long as they have their sugar, they once they eat a full bag of like Smarties, they just start hearing the Undefeatable from Sonic Frontier. And now comes the waiting game. Even Link's like looking around like, yeah, waiting, bored.
I'm almost confident that in the remake, in the Wind Waker remake, there were 2 tornadoes that circle around this place.
Probably. Surprisingly, I never actually saw anything of the remaster of Wind Waker besides the fact that you got the super sail, where you can sail regardless of the wind's direction. But okay, I understand why you did it, but here's my counter argument. If you do that, what is the point of us getting the Wind Waker besides using it to learn future songs? What's the point?
Yeah.
What's the point of changing the wind if we have the super sail and we can go wherever we want anyway?
Well, even with the super sail, it still takes a long time to get through the ocean.
Not really, because you can go wherever you want and you get a speed boost.
True, but
It's basically the golden Tanuki suit from the Mario games if you die so many times.
getting the supercell isn't easy. You know, it's apparently it's a 1 in 5 chance of appearing in the auction house, and you have to bid on it in order to get it.
Oh no! And us with our low amount of money.
apparently it's a huge annoyance for speedrunners, because obviously they want to get the supercell as fast as possible.
I don't understand. You would just save up your money, and when you unlock the ability to unlock more rupees, you just keep saving money until you have straight 9. When the auction happens, you just bet straight 9 and you auto win.
You know how speedrunners are. They don't need to bet straight 9. They know exactly how much to bet.
Yeah, but why do that when you could just bet straight 9 and just get the thing anyway? Wouldn't it be faster to just do that instead of the whole I bid, I wait, I bid, I wait?
Oh, sure. Here we go. Here we go.
Feed me, Link! You ever saw the original Little Shop of Horrors, the black and white? It's pretty messed up.
Black and white? No, I saw the color one.
Yeah, the musical is actually the remake.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, there's like a Twilight Zone-esque Little Shop of Horrors. And it's worth a watch. Oh,
Oh. Oh, come on. How is it still staying up there?
It knows how to defy gravity. It's rather wicked.
Oh, there's this one left. Come on.
Here we go.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
Open wide.
Hydrate.
Say ah!
It's time to hydrate, fool. Wow, it hates hydrate culture so much, it just cut off its own head. That's so cool. That's the first time I'm seeing the whole fight like that.
That's like learning that you can lure the ceaseless discharge to the start of the gate, and he'll trip, catching himself on the ledge, and then you can attack his arm and he'll fall to his death. In Dark Souls.
Oh, the giant?
The ceaseless discharge, the giant lava monster in the basement that's guarding over the lady's robes. If you grab them and run all the way back to the fog gate, he'll try to follow you, but then he'll trip and catch himself, and then you can attack his arm for an insta-kill. Or you could be like me and just dodge and weave and attack like an idiot, and just get mad because you don't know how to fight this thing.
There's another boss like that, except there's a way to insta-kill him without it's not intended. They're giant up on the roof. I don't.
The Iron Golem.
I think so. I think that's the type of boss that you can, if you finagle him enough, he can fall off.
Yep, just get Iron Tarkus and he can help with that. Tarkus! Tarkus!
Oh, Makar, me and my one tooth are so happy to see you.
Makar, you're the reason why people hate Koroks. You cause nothing but problems. You forced Link to go into the woods where he would most likely die, and in the future you're gonna be a hindrance to him where you're just gonna get captured all the time. It's your fault, Makar. It's your fault! That's probably why.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he was just standing there when you got there. He wasn't in any real danger until you walked in the room.
Because the way I think about it, people wouldn't be so mean to the Koroks if the Makar situation wasn't super annoying. Because if anything, you just go here, you clear a temple, you get the item and leave. They didn't really do anything to warrant such hatred, unless the side quest with them is what caused such hatred. Which I never did.
The violin doesn't have any strings, Luigi.
The music's good at least.
And music.
Alright, we should actually be nearing the end of this episode, actually. Yeah, we got a few seconds left
here.
here.
It is. So, and here starts the most annoying side quests in the game.
Ah, this is probably why they hate them. That,
I mean,
actually, no, I take it back. Breath of the Wild is one of the reasons why you hate these fuckers, because you had to search forever for them and just get nothing but poop.
Yeah, they've always been an annoyance, because now they're going to bring these seeds out to every single island in the game, and you got to bring forest water to them, and within 20 minutes, and it's all just annoying.
And now, I justify their crucifixion and rocket launch into orbit.
Yeah, say what you will about Tears of the Kingdom, but at least they let you torture the Koroks.
And on that note, we're done here. Bye-bye.